When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
All right, listeners, welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. As always, I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and week after week, we bring you some amazing experts that have been through so much adversity. They've reinvented themselves. They share their stories on here. This isn't about them just talking about what they do now and wanting you to go follow them. This podcast has been set up for you to get everything that you need, the real life advice, the stories that motivate, inspire you, and the action steps that you can take to live your best life. And it just seems like that phrase has been thrown around a lot, but I do want you to sit back and ask yourself today, are you living your best life? Do you do the things that make you happy? Are you healthy? Do you feel strong? Are you surrounded by good people? Do you, on purpose, design your life every day? Or are you allowing life to happen to you? And then you're just responding to how life is dealing out what you believe is unfolding. So I really want you to ponder that today as we get into today's subject, which is going to be take back your life. And many of you might think, well, that's Colleen, my life is the way it is. I can't take it back. I'm forced to do this job, or I'm stuck in this relationship, or I can't tell that friend I can't be friends with them anymore. The answer to that's BS. You can. And we're going to talk a lot about how Carole Fontaine, our expert guest today, has done a lot of that in her life and has taken her life back. And so I'm excited to bring her to you today. But before we get to Carole, I must thank our sponsor of today's show, Beyond Basil Mobile Pizzeria. Imagine if your wedding and private event was catered by a luxurious trailer equipped with wholesome ingredients and lots of TLC and a pizza oven imported from Italy. Our goal at Beyond Basil is to make the best pizza you've ever had. We know how to do this too. Your best pizza experience is our highest priority. Be sure to contact us on Instagram and follow us at Beyond Basil Pizza or online at beyondbasilmobilepizzeria.com. It's easy to plan your next corporate event, wedding, or private event with us. We got you covered. So thank you so much, Beyond Basil Mobile Pizzeria, for sponsoring today's show. It makes it possible for us to do what we do. Carole, this is going to be an amazing show today. And she has so many leaps that she's taken. She has reinvented, changed, redirected, and we're going to get into all that right now. So please don't go anywhere. She is known to some as the Sailing Yogi. Carole Fontaine teaches by sharing stories of her 20 years of living aboard a sailboat to illustrate how to navigate through storms with ease and grace. A successful graphic designer, she left the busy world of design after her health failed and sent her on a 10-year journey to search for answers on how to heal her body and her soul. She's a certified life coach specializing in mindfulness and empowerment, meditative writing, Shakti Dance Yoga. By the way, I've done this with my clients. Carole came in and we loved it. She is a Reiki Master Teacher and she owns a thriving graphic design business and is a best-selling author. Carole, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here and great to see you again.
It's so good to see you. And we so enjoyed the workshop that you did with my clients. They weren't expecting that. And for me, it was a stretch. So for some of my other clients that are really into movement and yoga and meditation, they were like, oh, I cannot wait to do this. And for me, I'm very business centric. I was like, ooh, this is going to be really uncomfortable for me, but I just flowed with it. And I loved the journaling we did afterwards. I think that's, one of the most important pieces is to really kind of let things come out of us that we want. I don't believe, Carole, in life that we really say or do what we want. I don't think women really do. I do think that they hold their tongue and don't speak up as much as they should. And that kind of gave me a moment to just move the way I wanted to move and then write what I wanted to say. And that was very freeing. It really was. What feedback have you gotten from your Shakti dance that you do?
Wow. Well, absolutely. And for me, when I took the training, it's a 9-month training. So my first experience was a class, and I fell in love instantly with it. I went to see the teacher. I'm like, how can I learn this? Because it was the first time that I felt like a door was opening. I felt like, you say, like I could really get in touch with who I was behind the facade, behind all the identity and the mask that we wear. And that's the feedback that I get, is because it's a guided process. And we also ask people, remember to close your eyes, and we go within. Women are allowed to go to not judge, to not compare with someone else in class, to really connect with what's going on inside and the energy. And I believe that, although for me, meditative writing, as I teach that as well, is very powerful, when I combined it with movement, that's when I had the most powerful transformation, because movement unblocks, it unleashes that energy that's blocked through the body, and we don't realize it because we use our mind to try to analyze our life and fix our life with everything that's up here. And we forget that our emotions, our energy, our intuition is here. And that's where we want to go if we want to unleash our power and take leaps into tradition. And that's movement really helps us get there.
So I have to ask you, when I introduced you, I talked about how you really took this huge leap and decided to live aboard a sailboat for 20 to 22 years. And some of you might have watched the new documentary that's out there, The Young 16-Year-Old Girl. Have you seen that documentary?
Oh, yes.
I think it's on Netflix, where they allowed their daughter at 16 from Australia. She went around and sailed around the world. She made it. Boy, did she have to endure just some long days without wind, and some treacherous seas. What was that like? Just the two of you living aboard this sailboat for all those years.
Yeah, she had such courage.
Yeah.
For us, there was two of us. I did this journey with my husband. And when he asked, I did not know, we did not know anything about sailing, neither of us. So it was a big leap to first get that small sailboat. And after 9 months, we sold it and we bought the big boat and we moved aboard. And unlike her, we didn't go around the world, but we did travel over 20,000 nautical miles. So we've been through storms and hurricanes and almost sunk the boat. And oh my goodness, stories. We have so many. And I have my book, Sail Above the Clouds, that has so many great adventures. But I think one of the biggest challenges and rewards was relationship-wise for me and my husband, to learn to live with another human in such a small space, and to learn to live with me and look at my stuff and my triggers and who I am behind who I thought I was, because who I thought I was when I moved aboard the boat was not the true me. And uncovering that, I think removing myself from the rat race, the materialistic, you buy a house, bigger, better, all the toys, and going small, simplifying, going on the boat, and really spending time understanding myself and him and how do we make this work. And it wasn't always fun. Sometimes I was like, oh, I'm going to make you walk the plank here.
Yeah.
So learning that, was a huge life lesson. And I believe that being out there in nature on the boat, you become so connected with the world. People think, oh, they're far away, they're away from everybody, they're disconnected.
They think you're disconnected, right?
And it's quite the opposite.
Completely opposite. Yeah.
I totally got more connected with universe, the energy, life. My goodness, anchoring under the Milky Way and looking at the stars when the only thing inside is just water, and seeing the dolphins and the nature, and just knowing that the water connects you with every continent on the planet.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. It was a deep dive into my heart and soul.
Yeah. You know, some of my listeners might remember this. 2022, my husband and I took a trip to Grenada. We have my husband's longtime high school friend, retired from the Navy as a doctor, and they bought a 49-foot catamaran sailboat, and we went and stayed with them for a week. And I'd never been on a sailboat before, and they live on this sailboat. And I'll tell you the connection piece that you talked about. I don't know if anyone knows this, but the water glows at night and you glow at night. Like, it's really like Avatar is what it looks like. It's the most amazing thing you'll ever see. And we met so many amazing people just anchored out on sailboats, that there is this community of sailors out there, and they just are they love everyone. And I just really thought that was amazing as a piece that we don't realize is out there. So if you've never traveled, if you've never been on a sailboat, if you've never gone to other countries, there's a whole world out there you haven't seen yet. Yes. You know what I mean? So you got to get going. And I wake up every day living without regret. And they had been asking us to come. They've been living in Italy for 20 years. They have asked us to come to Italy at least 10 times. And our answer every time was, oh no, we're too busy. Oh no, our schedules are too busy. We can't because of work. And finally, the last couple of years, my husband and I have really just decided I'm not going to live that life anymore. We work and we make money, and we want to spend that money for adventures and memories and experiences. And we want to see our friends in other countries. And we're just going to go. We're going to take advantage of every possible thing. And we didn't know what it would have looked like I didn't even pack right to be on a sailboat, because I literally wound up wearing one bathing suit and a pair of the same shorts like every day that were whiskey that would dry quick. Yet I brought like 5 jean shorts. Like, who wears jean shorts on a sailboat? You just don't, right? So it was hilarious of what I learned. But nature, the water, I had never felt more rejuvenated after a vacation than I did on that one. And I think the nature piece really had a lot to do with it, because you were in the water every day, all day, and Mother Nature, oh my gosh, the water is one of the most powerful of all the forces of nature. And I'll tell you, she just takes care of you. You know, it just feels like that energy. So that was really awesome. Let's go back and wind back a little bit, because other than just living on the sailboat, you've had to fire doctors, you've had to fire bosses, you've had to do so many things along the way where you had to take back power, where you had to take back control, because you had allowed doctors, bosses, other people to take control, take your power. And then you just got to a point where you were like, no, this isn't. How does that happen? I'm sure there's many listeners right now that might be dealing with misdiagnoses or pain or possible surgeries or medications. And you just, after 10 plus years, was like, this is not working for me anymore. Well, what was that feeling like that you knew this isn't working for me, that someone listening could relate to?
Yes. Well, it was about 5 years of trial and error, 2 surgeries, 10 doctors, and they kept trying these different medications on me and telling me, oh, you'll be on this for the rest of your life. And I was suffering all these symptoms, and I was still majorly affected. My quality of life was really bad. I had a hard time sailing. I had a hard time going out or enjoying life. And it came to a point where I had to say, no, this is enough. This is not working. I became so depressed and numb, and I didn't recognize myself. And my husband told me, I don't recognize you anymore. This is not working. And I talked with him, and I'm like, I'm firing everybody. I fired my doctors. I stopped their medication, and I went the East medicine route. And I tried all kinds of holistic treatments, and I educated myself. I took my power back. That first time that I said no, enough, I found my voice. I found that before then, I was kind of like the nice girl that always, oh, everything's okay, everything's nice, I'm doing good, but I wasn't doing good. And at a point in life, you have to say, that's enough, because guess what? You may not have a tomorrow.
That's right.
Who's to say you have a tomorrow? You want to go to Italy, go. So many people just die with regrets, or wait to get there until some big diagnosis happens.
Right.
And I just had enough. I'm like, I'm not going to live this way. I'm going to change this. So I fired my doctor and started to study all these holistic medicine. And that's how I became, a Reiki Master Shakti Dance coach and all that. And I was able to manage all my system, and still do to the day, and with minimum Western medicine. I still believe in Western medicine. It's great. We have it, but we need to combine it with more than just, yes, doctor.
I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, if you're
become advocates for us.
If you're in an accident, your guts are hanging out, you need to go to the hospital, right?
Exactly,
A surgeon needs to take care of you. Eastern medicine's not going to be what we want to do at that moment. So I totally agree with you, but I do feel like there's been a huge shift where it's just Pez dispensing, and it's take this pill. Oh, and then you have that symptom. Well, it's because of this pill. Now take that pill. And I mean, it's a probably $5, $6, $7 trillion business that's never going to go away. We need to understand that. But we can take back our power. I've done that. Like, I am not on medications. I don't take medications. There is a resolution for everything that I could have, whether it's a migraine. I mean, a lot of people will tell me, oh, well, you don't understand. When I get a migraine, I have to take this medication. I'm like, well, I dealt with multiple migraines for many, many, many years. It was my environment. It was where I was working. It was who I was dating that caused all of these migraines. The second I wasn't in those environments anymore, the migraines went away. I didn't get motion sickness anymore. So you're telling me that a pill could have solved that? No. So there are those, I believe, that just are locked in and they don't want to change. Yeah, they don't want to change. And that's okay. That's not who we're talking to today. We're talking to the ones that are like, I do want to live every day without regret. I do want to have a healthier life. I do want to take back and make changes in my life and not sit around and wait for other people to change. You know that saying, I have it in my bathroom, and it's in there for a reason, because I go to the bathroom about 9 times a day in my house from my office. And in my bathroom, it says, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change. You can't wait for change. You have to be the example and be the change. Right? Yeah. So, okay. So you fired your doctor, and then you decide to fire your boss. So you were like, okay, now that I feel better and I'm doing all of this holistic work and I'm learning more about Eastern medicine, I feel better, I'm getting off of all these pills. You realized, wow, I can do whatever I want to do at this.
Yeah, I realized
what a beautiful feeling.
I was really misaligned on a lot of aspects in my life, because once you start getting curious, once you just outside that comfortable box, and you just put your brave pants on, and you just go, I'll try it. Magical things happen. And once it's like the Carole in me got unleashed, and I was like, oh my goodness, look at the power that I have to control my life, my happiness, and what I can do.
Oh, yeah.
So I just decided this job is not fulfilling for me anymore. I really want to dive deep into that what's calling, and that aspect that really you have to go into your gut, your intuition, and really to follow what's that energy that's flowing up, that feeling that you're scared, but you're nervous at the same time. Like, ooh, what if I started a jewelry business? Ooh, what if I started coaching business? Ooh, what if I started to teach yoga? Whatever comes up for you, you have to nurture and explore that gut feeling, that intuition. So for me, it was really a matter of getting to know what drove me, what was my purpose, what did I want, what did Carole want? And I discovered that through meditative writing and journaling. That was the first thing that I was able to do because I was so sick, I couldn't really move back then. So whatever your condition, your situation is, there's a way through every block. There's a way through whatever is going on in your life. But you must quiet the world and go within. So whatever tool you can access for that, I use meditation and writing. It's so powerful. But it helped me connect with the wisdom. Stuff came up that absolutely floored me. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. It came out of me. And I had no idea that I had this ability within.
You know, one of the biggest questions that I get the most pause on from women, and I did this when somebody asked me this question, they said, what do you want? It's like, oh, well, you know, I want to have a successful business. And no, what do you want? And I got just stopped in my tracks.
Yeah.
And I just remember sitting there thinking, I have no idea what I want.
What is it?
I set goals, you know, I've been a runner. I'm a first degree black belt. So when I have something in front of me, I'm very focused and can reach that goal. But when someone asked me, what do I want? It was probably the first time in my life anyone's ever really asked me that question. And it wasn't about my children or my husband or my job or my clients or everybody else, family, everyone that needs you. It was about me.
Yeah.
And if you're a woman out there and you're listening right now on your earbuds and you're driving, or, you know, you're working on a patient, because I know we have a lot of dentists that listen, and you're a hygienist and you're thinking, what do I want? Think about that. I think that's one of the most major things to ponder and write it down.
It's huge. It's huge. And it has to be about you and not a thing or a person. It has to be about you. And we are conditioned to be caregivers, to be wives and mothers and colleagues at work. We don't ask ourselves, am I happy? That is a huge one. Am I happy? And if not, what am I doing about it? What milestone, what action today can I take? I'm a big proponent of micro actions. Tiny little actions that just every day builds up. It could be just a slight little thing, but what tiny little micro action can you do today for yourself to reach happiness or to find out what do you want? And if you don't know what you want, because the first time that we get in touch with that side of ourselves, we don't know. We're shocked. It's like, oh my goodness, because we don't know ourselves. We need to get to know ourselves. We need to be our best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know, and a lot of it always comes down to money, I'm going to say, Carole, because so many individuals, it comes down to money, and they'll say, well, I can't leave corporate America. I can't go do that because of the money. And I always say that's a lie. because I did. So all you have to do is know your monthly nut. That's what I tell everyone. What do you have to make? And how can you lower those monthly bills? And then what is the absolute minimum to survive on? I mean, I was at a point where when I had made the decision to leave corporate America, I was going to make it work. And if it was slower than I thought it was going to be, I was prepared to sell my house and move where I needed to move. And my husband probably didn't know that, but I was going after it. And I was going after it with everything I had. And I wasn't just coaching and running a community, and that's all I did. When I first started, I was teaching fitness classes and working with clients one-on-one. And I was working with clients one-on-one in the fitness area. I was doing everything I could to earn money. $40 here, $50 there, $150 there, $1,000 there, whatever it took. I'm very scrappy that way though. I was able to generate the income. All of us can.
Yes.
You have to believe it's possible. And like you, I actually started a jewelry business many, many, many years ago that didn't go anywhere. It kind of fizzled out. And I was like, okay, that's not what I'm supposed to do. And
It got you from point A to point B.
Yes. I appreciate when that stuff happens, because that was a stepping stone, not a failure. I needed that to step on so that I could step from that to the next step, because there's no way I would have been to point 3 if I didn't go to point 2 first.
Yes.
So I think we need to remember that as we're building our lives and looking at where can I take back power in my life that I've given away to other people. I talk a lot about that when I do keynote speaking. And so you've designed a program. Talk to us about the program you've designed, and because it's based on really how you've had to navigate through life's challenges. And a lot of our businesses we create are based on the knowledge because we've lived through something. I know so many foundations that have been built because children have cancer, and then, they lose a child and they had to go through the experience, and now they want to support other families. All of this is created because we've been through these experiences. So explain Sail TM. What is that?
Yes. Well, it is a misconception that you need to know exactly what you want out of life. You just need to step forward and align yourself with whatever's calling, and then you're going to have milestone, and maybe you'll be directed to do one thing and bring to another and another. So the first thing you want to do is simplify your life. So my program is SAIL: Simplify, Align, Integrate, and Let Go. So the first step is to get clear on what you want, who you are, what you want, what are your triggers, what are your needs, and all this stuff that you said that you need to know before you take an action. So you want to simplify, then you want to align all aspects of your life. I was misaligned with my job, my health, and so many things in my life. And once I started to realign myself with the things that really mattered, miracles happen. I got books published. I got offers for things. The universe supports you when you are aligned with your purpose.
Yeah.
So you really want to take a look at all these steps and integrate. You want to integrate all the practices, the tools, the support system. You need to have people and tools in your daily life to support you for those days that you're kind of a little bit off. You need to help yourself so you don't fall back into the old ways. And finally, the L is for letting go. We must let go of our expectation of outcome and embrace newness and change, because what if life has something even better for you than what you planned for yourself? That's what happened for me. I never expected that I'd be a best-selling author and my books would be sold on 5 continents around the world. That was like never, ever in my dream. There are things that are waiting for you in life, but you need to take an action towards there. And when you let go, you are free to open yourself. It's like an energy. You let go of, it's like an energy that you're open to receive.
Mm.
And life becomes easy and graceful because you are in compassion and in gratitude to everything that comes for you. And that kind of openness really helps you get in touch with intuition. And it's the intuition that's guiding you. You're the one that's guiding you. And everybody has that opportunity.
Mhm.
Everybody has that gift within. I was the least person to believe into all that woo-woo before I started my journey. And look at me now. It's been amazing. So it's just a matter of trusting that first gut feeling and taking one micro action, tiptoeing about outside of it. So simplify, align, integrate, let go is what I created to help. And that's what I teach women in these different steps. And I use the questions, workshops, a lot of different exercises to help people attain that and to help them realize just how powerful they are. And they can take back their power, whether it's relationship, finances, career, health. I've done it. I've applied this to every aspect of my, and I still do to this day. And it's helped me so much.
That's huge. So any woman right now that's thinking, oh man, I really could use this assistance. I need to change some things in my life. I've got to take back control. How do they reach out to you? What is the best way for them to do that?
The best way would be to log on to sailabovetheclouds.com.
Okay.
And it's the same as the title of my book.
Got it.
SAIL abovetheclouds.com. And from there, you can see all the classes that are available, the yoga dance, the radiant health, the meditative writing, and the sail workshops. So stay tuned, sign up to my newsletter, you'll get information, and then you can join me.
I love that. So sailabovetheclouds.com. We also have the link. You guys can grab her book. I have a copy of her book. My clients have copies of her book. I love it. It's so great. I mean, the stories that she shares in the book, I highly recommend that all of you grab that book and at least get started with the book. I know that she has classes that she does. She does some meditative writing. Those are ongoing. So you can always sign up for those on her website. And Carole, thank you so much for being here today. It's so important for each one of us to let go and at the same time take back our power and what we want in our lives. And again, answer that question for yourself. What is it that you want? Because you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that's ever going to be. This is your one chance. Don't pass up that trip to Italy like I did. Don't pass up those opportunities to go do something you love to do. And don't be scared. Be courageous. And if you need a community of women around you to support you in what you're doing and building your business, you know the LEAP community is here for you. You can find that at ColleenBiggs.net. It's always been there for you to be supported in building a business and doing, the steps that you need to take back your life. So Carole, thank you for being here today. And to all of you, thank you for joining us again. Today was super powerful. Go back and re-listen to this if you need those nuggets that Carole dropped throughout the entire podcast episode. Thank you all for being here. And again, remember, until next time, be you and be strong. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, as our guests shared their secrets on designing their life by taking the necessary leaps to expand their influence and attract the right people and clients into their lives. To start these easy steps for yourself, be sure to visit www.ColleenBiggs.net/freebies to download the 7 ways to increase your exposure today.